name is Lois Silver. I'm representing the Women of the Dove Foundation, which is a 501c3 organization dedicated to enhancing the quality of life both locally and globally. The name of our project is What's in a Name, and the full name is What's in a Name: Profiles of the Trailblazers, History and Heritage of District of Columbia Public and Public Charter Schools. And we chose this project to highlight the public and public charter schools within the District of Columbia for whom schools were named. And our project examines the schools, selects the schools named for a person, and highlights the history and heritage behind the names of the people who have been so honored.
I'm James Pittman, project coordinator for the Footsteps of Achievement brochure, the historic Kappa Heritage Trail. With me is Charles Howard, treasurer of the project and historian of the Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. This project provides for a self-guided or directed tour of neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. that reflect not only the importance of the neighborhood, but also the achievements and contributions of Kappa Alpha Psi members to those neighborhoods, and not only to this city, but into the nation as well. Within this, as well, are recognition of major people contributing. I mentioned some of the names. Our founders were students at Howard University in 1909-1910, where they declined membership in another fraternity, but conceived the notion of a fraternity founded on the basis of achievement without regard to color, religion, national origin.
Hi, I'm Cindy Yockey, and I was the curator for the Franklin School exhibit.
And I'm Kay Schlatter-Hedy. I was the graphics designer for the exhibit for the Franklin School.
And we got started on this exhibit actually about a year ago, last November, when a group was formed out of concern for the fate of the historic Franklin School. In the spring, there was an article in the Historical Society magazine on the Franklin School, and someone over there said, "The gallery's available, why don't you do an exhibit?" And so we started to do an exhibit, and it was very challenging because we had so little time. We did call it Mission Impossible until Kesh became involved.
Yeah, basically I got involved with this project when I made a little sketch of the Franklin School and found out that there was a whole effort to try to save it and renovate it, keep it as public property, renovate it for use, for educational use of some kind. And then when I realized that the group wanted to do an exhibit on the Franklin School, I decided I'd volunteer my graphic designer skills and work very closely with Cindy, who had her archivist and curatorial background, and also with Joseph Brown, who was the chair of the Coalition for Franklin School, who's a historian. And together with their knowledge of the content, I basically put the banners together, and getting the grant from the Humanities Council, of course, was very key to getting that.
Absolutely key. It made it happen.
My name is Tyrone F. General, and I am currently the president of Woodlawn Cemetery Perpetual Care Association. The Woodlawn Cemetery Perpetual Care Association has been delegated with the responsibility of making aware to the general public the historical significance and the preservation of Woodlawn Cemetery. Woodlawn is a 23-acre plot of land located in the southeast quadrant of Washington, D.C. Among the interments at Woodlawn Cemetery, you will find the first African-American United States Senator, to serve a full term, Senator Blanche Bruce. Also, the Honorable Congressman John Mercer Langston, who served as the first civilian rule for Howard University. In addition, we have Congressman Menard, John Menard. There are many pioneers from the 19th century interred at Woodlawn. And considering the era of the opening and the time of Woodlawn, we believe that it is extremely significant and important for all to know the American history associated with it.
My name is Deborah Jones. I'm with the Deanwood Heights Main Streets, and our project this year was Faith and Foundation, a historic tour of Deanwood. It was a tour of the historic churches of Deanwood, as well as some economic development that's going on in our community. And with the help of the Humanities Council, we also produced an audio version of the tour to give away with our booklet. The tour was of 14 historic churches. We added 2 more, and then there was about 4 sites of economic development. Nannie Helen Burroughs Avenue is a part of the Great Streets initiative in DC, and that work has started. We also visited the Strand Theater. What we found between this year and last year that was the same is that there's information about the churches that a lot of people in the community never knew. So the church tour, I think, is very beneficial to the community. We have a lot of long-term residents who probably have always wondered about the history of the churches in the Deanwood community, and the church tour gives an opportunity for them to find out some of that information.
Standing in the midst of the nation's capital's greatest architecture and monuments is the old Greyhound bus station building on 1100 New York Avenue in Northwest Washington. It's not only a tribute to DC's Art Deco architecture and intriguing transportation history, but also a testament to the preservationists who saved it from destruction and its owners who allowed it to remain intact. But its greatest legacy remains secret to almost everyone. The Greyhound bus that left this station some 20 years after it was built became an international symbol of America's racism and violence against African Americans during the Freedom Rides. On May 4th, 1961, 6 Freedom Riders left Greyhound Super Terminal to test the Supreme Court ruling in Boynton versus Virginia, which prohibited segregation in interstate buses, bus terminals, cafeterias, and restrooms.
We arrived in Montgomery. It was so eerie. It was so quiet, so peaceful. I traveled through that Greyhound bus station so many times, and I'd never seen it like this before.